Alright, so in the examine session, we click on computations and then we go to the safety button and click on it. Then we set our safety values. So we have our fault clearing time at 0.8. I have the surface layer thickness at 3 as per the ground detail standard. It's more conservative, so I will leave it as 3. And we have our crushed rock resistivity at 3000 ohm meter, and XR ratio at 20, and generate safety report, right? And then we save that report, and okay. So, and for the main thing is to figure out how to create a boundary which is just outside the fence, and that's only where we want to examine. So we come here to the advanced tab, or this advanced button down here, and we click on advanced, and in here we click on this checkbox here, define zoom area, and then we click down here on this button that says automatic zoom, and it opens a new window that pops up behind the first one, and we click on that window. We can maximize it just so we can see better, and then we come up here to this advanced tab up on the top left corner, and then click on advanced, then click on create zoom boundary, and so this new window pops open, and then it's automatically set to standard polygon, and then we want to set this value to 0. So this boundary shift distance is going to be the boundary outside of our ground loop, and because our ground loop is already set at 3 feet outside the fence, we're going to set this to 0, so it puts our boundary exactly at 3 feet outside the fence, and we click on create, and that creates this boundary, right? And then we come back up to the top left corner, and right here where my mouse is, this button, it says send zoom points, so we're going to click on this, and what it does is send those zoom points into the spreadsheet right out. So we close that window out, so it sends the zoom points to this spreadsheet right outside here, down here. And what I typically do is I would copy these points and save them in an Excel sheet, so next time I don't have to go through the entire process. I can just copy and paste the zoom points from my Excel sheet. And we also use this when the quality checker is checking this to make sure everything was done right. So click OK, and then it brings us back to the examine session, and in here we want to check our touch potential within the fence, which is already selected, right? And so we can leave this as user defined threshold, or we can click on use safety limit, which gives us compares it to the touch potential threshold, but we're just going to use this so we have all the colors when we plot. So we come here, we click plot, and as we wanted, it's just 3 feet outside the fence where our ground loop stops, and we can zoom to give us a better view of this. So I'm holding down my shift key, and then I'm going to left click and drag to where I want it to zoom, and so we can see it gives us this area just inside just 3 feet outside the fence, which is where our ground loop stops, because that's where we selected for it to examine. And so we can close this window out, and then for us to check the step potential, that was for the touch potential. Now for us to check the step potential outside the fence, we want to limit our examine area to 50 feet outside the fence. And so we're going to come down here again, click advanced. We have this already checked, define zoom area, and then we click on automatic zoom, and so it gives us this window again. And what we're going to do is click on advanced, create zoom boundary, and this time click on strip polygon, and then we have this inner offset at 0. That's going to be, so 0 is 3 feet outside the fence, and in order for us to go 50 feet outside the fence to check, our outer boundary is going to be set to 47, because our 0 here is 3 feet outside the fence. So 47 would give us 50 feet outside the fence. So we set this as 47, and we say create, and so it gives us 50 feet outside the fence to be examined. And then we click back up here again, send zoom points, and we close this out. Like I said, I would typically copy all of these points and put them in an Excel sheet and save them for later use, and say OK. And then we're back to this screen, and we change this from touch voltages to step voltages, and then we say plot. So we see that it plots for the area outside of the fence. This is 50 feet outside of the fence from within 3 feet outside the fence. And we can zoom in by holding down the shift key, which I'm doing right now. You can't see my key or my keyboard, but that's what I'm doing. And right click, or left click, sorry, and zoom. And now we can see that is taking it from 3 feet outside the fence to 50 feet outside the fence. So that's that.